Glendon with the Monday Morning Pep Talk. The title of this segment, The Pitfalls of Thinking Too Small. I was talking to a friend last week who still is in the storage auction game, and we had lunch and was just telling me about what's going on out there because, every time I go out, it's like a freaking trip. But, there's a few things that I found very interesting about the conversation because there were parallels to many of the things that I've been observing online. I've been checking out all the forums and I read a lot of blogs and I see the same information over and over and over again. And one thing that really shouldn't be surprising, a lot of people can't tell that they're being played. Because one thing is, everybody's now giving away all this great storage auction information for free. And I just sit there and I read the information, and there's so many things that it's situational based. I'll take the most common adage. Buy low, sell high. Okay, we're in a different spot with the storage auctions right now. It's more competitive than ever, and they're, with laws of supply and demand, more competition, a higher price. So that kind of turns that on its ear. How are you going to buy low and sell high when you can't buy low? It's going to be very, very challenging. Every year that moving forward, it's going to become very, very challenging. And there were several scenarios that I was in the same position, and I had to figure out a different way. And sometimes you're going to have to buy high just to sell. And I'm like, okay, that common, this quote, common sense. Use another old adage. Common sense ain't all that common, because I was looking year after year how many people would show up at auctions without locks. I would look at how many people would see some significant value and wouldn't bid. This went on for years. I saw this stuff, so I don't really know about this common sense stuff. But essentially, she was telling me that people come out 1, 2, 3 months, then they are an expert. It took me 2 years to learn this game. And see, there are many different facets to this game. And the thing is, I see everyone kind of clustered around the same areas. And something just kind of jumped off based on what she told me and what I've witnessed. Everybody's thinking small. Trying to get the most you can for the little as possible risk, and it's not working out because I see a lot of disenchantment. I see a lot of people who are upset. A lot of people like, man, this isn't as good. They're lying to me on the storage shows. This is not working out. The thing is, this is a fact. There are better units coming on the marketplace than when I was in the game, and there are more of them. So really, what is the deal? Why are some people winners and why are some people losing and why are some people cheering other people are whining? And the simple thing is this. It's your mind space. One of the reasons, and I'm going to say this, many of you watching this video who are in the storage auction game will never ever be as successful as I was, because it's not. And some of you are smarter than I am. Some of you have more money now than when I started out, and it's never going to happen. Because you think like a little scared bitch. That is reason you're not going to be successful. Because you're trying to move forward in life with as little risk as possible. And it doesn't work like that. I will tell you, there were days out there on the auction trail that I had $5,000 to my name and I rolled those dice and came up 20 grand later. Many of you don't have that kind of heart. Just don't have it. So part of this conversation that's happening is people are making excuses for their own mediocrity. And they want to look for a fall guy or a reason or an excuse or something to blame, because this thing with storage auctions is going to be hot for a long time. It is. And when I look at the collective information that I'm reading, everybody, it's not fair to say. It's not fair to say. I'm going to say many to most are thinking too small. Give you an example. I was reading a post about this guy and what he used to do, because essentially I'm honest. I'm not in the game. I've been straight up with you about that from day one. That straight up. There's a whole bunch of people like, at my peak, and when I used to do this and I used to do this. It's just trying to get you there, buy their product by giving you what some people think is great advice, but some of it's illegal. Too funny. But going through the post and just looking at it, this is how you create your own economy. This is why I put that whole video about creating your own economy. Everyone is playing follow the follower. It's not follow the leader, because no one's really leading in this space. It's follow the follower. You see the same stuff over and over and over again, and then there's this sense of, hey, this is common knowledge because it's being shared over and over again. And you don't really see a lot of innovation. You don't see any innovation. There's so many ways that you can slice this pony. There's so many ways you can make money with this game, and I don't see it online. And you know me, I'm a capitalist. The stuff that I have, you have to buy, straight up. You know what I'm giving you, the stuff in this list, and that's something else. I had a nice email, I need to put that up there, that from a person who was like, oh, saw your videos and that helped me tremendously on the auction trail, and I really didn't think I needed to buy your book because the information you put out was so good in your videos. And my wife, for my birthday, bought me a copy of your book. Dude, I should have bought this a long time ago. See, this is the thing that many folks don't understand. They're like, I got some information and I'm off and running. I created a system and a process, because what many people are doing are trying to sell through one channel real hard, and that channel is the easiest one for them. It's very complex to set up a system. It's very complex to have, checks and balances. It's really, really complex. But the thing is, dude told me, because who watched the videos, hey, I don't need to buy the book. He said he tripled his income after he got the book. So for all of you people like, oh, it's all up there, you don't need to buy the book. Hey, do so. Because the people who would buy the book are going to be spanking your ass. But back to the core of this whole video. How do you get past thinking too small? You have to develop some faith, courage, and heart. Scared little bitches never win. You don't win in love. You don't win in business. You don't win in life. And I'm seeing a bunch of little scared little bitches because it's amazing how much whining is going on in the storage office space. It is a lot of whining and bitching, and it's not true. I will say that the $500,000 pirate chest is a little suspect in terms of timing. I actually know someone that wasn't at the auction, but they know a little something, and there's like it is true. I wasn't there and didn't see it, didn't put my little brown hands on the doubloons, but it appears to be true. And I believed as soon as I saw it, because I have pulled out Cougarans out of a unit myself, quite a few of them. And the thing is, more and more of these big hits are starting to happen because more and more people are losing their stuff. You've got to have faith in you. See, this is where it starts. When you look at life and you go out there and you start saying, it can't be true, I'm not going to win, life sucks, life's not fair, what you're really saying is, I don't have the strength or conviction of my abilities to move forward. I don't have strength and conviction of my ability to even learn how to move forward. So I'm going to say it doesn't exist, so I don't have to deal with the cold, stark reality that I'm a scared little bitch. I'm going to print up some t-shirts, and I'm going to you're going to get the scared little bitch t-shirt and just start selling them out because they're everywhere. Be your own personal hero. Stop with the fear. And understand, when I say fear, when I do a lot of stuff, when I wrote the book, there was a lot of fear. When I did my first video, there was a lot of fear. Fear is natural. Fear is healthy. But you can't let it stop you. That's the problem. I'm not saying you're not going to be scared. I'm not going to say you're going to wake up and have all this courage. What I'm saying is you have to develop the courage to combat your fear and move forward and do whatever you want. And see, this is bigger than storage auctions. We have a lot of people in this country who have great abilities, amazing talent, and they're sitting there going, I'm a scared little bitch. I'm a scared little bitch. That's killing us as a country. This country used to be run by courageous people. Now, not so much. But that's the deal. You have to take steps. And number one is admitting that you're a scared little bitch. That's step number one. You have to admit that you have scared bitch tendencies. Because once you admit it, then you can combat the problem. It can be something as simple as you may want to learn a new skill, but you just kind of scared. You might want to go to the gym, but because you're fat, you don't want people to see you, so you stay at home and eat more bum-bums, making the situation worse. You have to confront those fears. I remember this girl from the gym I used to work out years and years ago. She was huge. And she came in spandex. You know, this was a long time ago when I had a six-pack. This was a long time ago. And she was really cute. And I used to flirt with her outrageously. But she's a big girl. She's a big girl. I don't know, probably 230, 250. But she was cute with it. She was cute with it. Well, she came to the gym, and over the course of a year, she transformed. She went from the cute big girl to the finest health in the gym. And new guys would come in there and try to talk to her, and she would just, I come up there, I get a hug, I get to feel on all the new curves and stuff. And I told her one day, I was like, you know, I'm really proud of you. Because I didn't really know her. You know, we never hung out until after I said these things. I was like, I'm really proud of you, because so many people come in here and just give up. You came in here in your spandex and you were doing stuff and you were struggling and you were shaking and you kept at it. You know, I'm glad to know you. Long story short, we ended up dating for a year. Because I spoke to her where she was and respected her as a person. The moral of that story is you have to accept where you are to go where you want to be. When you accept the person where they are, they will become your best friend. They will kill for you because you're accepting them on that nitty-gritty where the rubber meets the road level, where most people don't. Because everybody wanted to be her friend when she went to fine. And I saw that up close and personal, and it was fine. Adrian, hey, if you're listening, girl, we need to talk. But anyway, that's the deal. We got to get away from this microwave society mentality. And this goes all the way back to fear, scared bitchness, and everything. Because all you have to do is sit down today, take a piece of paper, and right at the top, I want to improve my life. That would be 50% of the battle. 50% of the battle. Because you have actually articulated that you're in a place that you're unhappy and you want to improve your life. So you take that information, then you put down whatever you want to do. If you want to marry a Jewish girl with red hair and freckles that grew up in Istanbul, write it down. It could happen. Write that list. Do not be afraid to write down your biggest dreams. Whatever you want to do, write it down. Then step away from that list for a day, then come back, then sort it out again. But your goal is, if you're watching this video, to take an hour out of your day and write down your goals. What do you want? What do you really want to do with your life? I will tell you that there's a lot of stuff that's coming, because I had this conversation with another friend, because one of my gifts, which I'm just finding out, is, because I get this like in the emails, I didn't really think of myself as a motivator. I thought of myself as a smart ass telling people that, you know, you're fucked up and you need to change. Hey, you know, but that was the deal. And now it's kind of like we're going into a different set of training, because what I didn't realize is that I spent a lot of time on my mental space, reading books, but spending an inordinate amount of money with Nightingale Conant, reading all the information I could about business. And when I was in certain situations, it just kind of popped up to the top and helped me. And that's one of the things that I'm going to start doing on this channel, because I said it before and I'm going to say it again. I did not expect the storage auction thing to last this long. I didn't have any idea these shows were coming on. I am like 2 years behind on this other project I want to start, but since I've kind of embarked on this journey, I'm not just going to jump off to do something else because, my business knowledge tells me that's just stupid. But I'm going to start broadening the scope of this, and we're going to talk about, hey, if you want to start any business, you want to start anything, it's going to be called, how to put that gas in your tank to get you moving forward. Because for me, it's on autopilot. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it. It's just from failing so much that I'm not afraid to fail. When I started this process, I did many things that were like, don't do that, that's wrong. Like, essentially cussing people out in forums. It's like, don't do that, that's going to make you look bad. But at the end of the day, I go to sleep like this. Because I'm comfortable, because it is amazing that I can do my own thing and tell someone to kiss my ass that pissed me off and nothing bad happens. Because I'm not in corporate America. That is a great feeling. Because like I said, I told a girl I'm dating now. I was like, I'm not afraid to look wrong. I'm not afraid to ask a stupid question. I'm not afraid to fail. And as a consequence of that, I don't fail that much anymore. Yeah, things go wrong. I put out a product, it's not a hit. I was like, okay, I learned that this did not work, and I move on. I've learned, my skin is not as thick as I want it to be, but, I heal up quick. And that's the deal. And I want to get you to that space where you can do that stuff, because it is liberating and it's empowering when you can wake up and say, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And if the results are not what I want, I'm not going to be crushed and devastated. Understand, in the beginning, that used to happen all the time. I'll tell you a quick story. And it was really, really way ahead of my time. I was at Fort Mac and I wanted to do something to make some extra money. I was always hustling. I was in the military and I had a part-time job. I wasn't supposed to, but I kind of kept it on the low and nobody ever said anything. One day I just developed this idea that I was going to become a photographer. Did I go out and get any photography books? Nope. I went out and got the most expensive camera I could. I put an ad in the newspaper. For those of you who don't understand, the classifieds was the joint back in the day. It was like $150 for me to put this ad in the newspaper for X amount of weeks, and it was like photos with your pooch. And I put that ad there and I rewrote it like 6 times and I thought it was really good. And I put that ad in there and I called up a newspaper and I gave them a credit card number and they charged my money. I got this camera and I was just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Nobody called. Nobody called. And when I realized how stupid I was, I didn't prepare correctly. I didn't research the market. I didn't do any of the stuff that I needed to do. And I just really got mad and despondent because I spent all this money on this camera. I had all this stuff and I had this idea and it was going nowhere. And, I was depressed. I was depressed for a good month over that because that camera cost me a grip and those payments were hurting. They were hurting. E4 salary, they were hurting. And after I healed up, I said, I'm going to try again. I went into another business and that one failed. And I went to another business and that one failed. And each time I healed up, I started healing up a lot faster. What used to take me like months to heal up went to weeks, and what took weeks went to days. What went to days went to hours. And, now looking back, I was essentially training myself for the businesses in the future, because this is the thing. If you are out there doing something business-wise and you stop, those lessons that you learned are really not valuable anymore. You have no way that you can apply those lessons because you stopped. And everyone's not going to become rich. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass saying you're going to become a millionaire and all this stuff. But I will say this, and I can guarantee you this. When you reach the point where you're not afraid to fail, your life will be richer, you'll be happier, and you'll have a sense of confidence that many people will call arrogance, because when you actually go through the fires of hell and come out on the other side, forged in a new manner, stronger, bigger, better, It's just going to happen. It's just going to happen. People could say stuff to you and it's just going to bounce off of you. I want that for you. So I'm going to do this, not in this video, because I need to sit down and think about it. But I'm going to come up with the I am not a scared little bitch pledge. I'm going to write that up. I am not a scared little bitch pledge. And I'll put it down on the video. And you need to say that, because that's where it starts. It all starts up here. So don't be guilty of thinking too small. You're better off building up this big idea and failing and like, okay, I failed because of this. Because that failure, that's your school, that's your bachelor's degree. That second business, that's your MBA. That third business, that's your PhD. Because if you look at the average successful business owner, they make more money than all of the professionals combined. Notice I said successful. I didn't say just having a business. I didn't say that. But the average successful business owner. And with the things that are going on in the world today, I don't really see, unless you just got a rock solid career that you know is straight, I don't really see the risk of you running off and starting your own business. I just don't. I have one guy who called me up. He has a great job. He's got a very solid company, great benefits. And I actually said, don't quit your job. You're in a good spot. You're that close to retirement. Don't fuck it up. Very few people in that position. So, this is the time, my friends. If you want to do something, do it. All right. This is Glendon with your Monday morning pep talk.